How's it going, everybody? I'm the Game Disciple, and I want to talk about Batman. Batman is a cultural icon. He is every little boy's dream and almost every grown man's dream. Most men dream of being just like Batman. But I want to tell you, the devil wants you to be like Batman too, and I'm going to explain it here in this video. Here's some things we need to know about Batman. He is incredibly strong, incredibly intelligent. He is every on paper limit that humanity has. That's it. Like every limit that humanity has on paper, mathematically, that's Batman. He's not superhuman, but he's as close as you can get. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But here's where the bad stuff comes in. One, we love Batman because he's always got a plan. He's always got something up his sleeve, something to do. He's always got it figured out. That's why everybody says Batman with prep time is unbeatable. There's a problem with that. Batman's planning comes from his need for control. Now, and it's not bad to plan things out, but as a Christian, we should always give those plans to God and say, "Not my will, but thy will be done." Once again, most of the time, as long as you're not doing something you're not supposed to, God's going to be okay with it. But in Batman's case, he doesn't seem to have God to fall back on. And this leads me to another conclusion, which is he plans for a lot more than just scenarios with villains. He plans for scenarios with the other heroes too. Batman doesn't trust anyone. This is the second point. He doesn't trust anyone, not even himself. The only person I think Batman really trusts is Alfred, with Fox being like a close second. But he doesn't really trust anyone. Everyone is a potential enemy to him because he doesn't know what's going on inside their head. Comes back to that need to control, where he doesn't have any peace. He doesn't have any joy. He doesn't have time for it. And he looks cool, but do you want to be like that all the time? Because I don't, and that's the problem. He's always that way. So not only does he have this horrible need to control, it comes from his inability to trust. And he's got his justifications for it, but it doesn't make it right. See, he could have those contingency plans for the Justice League, but he went about it the wrong way. He could have told them that he was doing this beforehand so that they would know, because he knows about his contingency plan. If there's a contingency plan for him that he can know about that still works on him, then he can do the same for the other heroes, but he doesn't. Then we come to another point. Batman is always in pain because he lost his parents, and in a lot of ways he blames himself. And whenever he doesn't feel that it's his fault, he's in pain just because he's lost them. It was a traumatic experience for a child to go through, and then he's angry because I don't think he ever finds out who really did it. He's always in pain, and it's because he can't let that go. He can't get past the loss of his parents. And in many cases, in the comics, he's said that he doesn't know what to do. He wouldn't know what to do if he didn't have that. So the reason Batman is the way he is because he will not let go of the loss of his parents. And that's what fuels his drive to control things, his need to have everything figured out. It also fuels his lack of trust. It fuels everything in his life. These things in isolation are not wrong. They're not bad. It's not bad to plan things out. It's not bad to work your body and get yourself in really good shape to do things and fight crime. That's not bad. The bad part is why and how he's doing it. Why? Because he's lost his parents and he won't let it go. He can't let it go for fear of who he would turn into. He doesn't know what to do if he's not Batman. And on top of that, then it's not wrong to have contingency plans for the Justice League. I mean, if we lived in that universe, we'd have contingency plans too. But it is wrong for those people to be your friends and you kind of just go behind their back and do it, because he could have been upfront about that and been like, hey, we're all susceptible to manipulation, and there are so many different villains out there that could find a way to control any one of us that we need to have contingency plans. And he could have justified it that way, and that would have been fine. But no, He couldn't do that. And that's what made it wrong. It's not wrong to, when you encounter a villain, to have all sorts of different contingency plans because you want to mitigate all as much damage as you possibly can during that encounter. So it's okay to be diligent and study and learn and create plans. We have to remember, though, that we are not God. We have to remember that God is God and that He's the one that's going to make this work out. And I want to talk about something a little bit more realistic, is the reason why we don't see any real life Batman. It's because in our universe, God is God, and He will not let you fully commit to that. He will always chase you. He will always allow you to trip up. He will find ways to outsmart you and trip you up in what you're doing so that you'll learn to trust Him and not yourself. No, you're not supposed to doubt yourself, but you're not supposed to trust yourself more than you do God. That's why we don't see real life Batman, because God will not allow you to have it all figured out. God will not allow you to have everything set up exactly how you want it and make it work because you've got contingency plans for your contingency plans. So we have to remember that Batman's level of control is literally not possible. There's the verse for that, which is, a man's heart devises his way, but God directs his steps, which means you can see a path forward. And even though that path could work, God will make sure, if you're trusting in Him, that if that's not the way you're supposed to go about it, He'll make sure that each step you take will take you further from that path you took, but not further from where He wants you to be. And that's one thing I have struggled with, is trying to control, trying to have everything figured out. And God's like, no, you can't do that. That is my job, sir. And I can't tell you how many times I've failed at it because I've just been, no, this is the way I got to go. And then I take the step and it's like, oh, now I see what you're talking about. So Batman is cool in his little shell, but we should not strive to be totally like Batman. The whole package comes with a lot of negative things that we just don't need in our lives. You know, he's got the toys, he's got the money, he's got the tech, he's seemingly got it all, but that's on the outside. And what does God say in His Word? Men look at the appearance, men look at the outside, but God looks at the heart. And if you see Batman's heart, all you're really going to see is a lot of darkness and pain and desperation. And nobody needs to live that way. All right, guys, I think that's the end of this video. I'm going to be making some more videos like this as the topics come up and God gives me, guidance on how to do it. But then, yeah, I think that's it for this one. So remember, guys, play your games. God said it's okay. Make your plans. It's okay. Just remember to let God direct your steps. I love you. Be blessed. Amen.